Thank you and good morning, Speaker. My question is for the Deputy Premier. This government would have us believe that there's nothing it can do or could have done to mitigate skyrocketing hydro costs. But now we know that's simply not true. More gas plant scandal documents related to the Samsung deal now reveal a very different story. They outline that when Samsung missed their deadlines, the government could have walked away from the multi-billion-dollar deal for nothing. The ministry states the savings would have been about $30 a year on the average residential bill. Instead, the government did what was best for the Liberal Party and not for the people of Ontario. Speaker, my question is, why did the government choose their corporate friends over the interests of Ontario ratepayers?
Thank you.
To the Minister of Finance.
Mr. Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our government is indeed committed to renewable energy, and we've built a strong track record with many successes. The successes, of course,
Member from Chatham-Kent, Essex, second time. Finish.
Mr. Speaker, because of the programs that we've instituted, we're creating well-paying manufacturing jobs across the province. In fact, the Minister of Energy was in Tillsonburg a few weeks ago where he announced a new export agreement with Siemens Canada. We're building wind turbine blades that will be exported to the UK. That's 300 well-paying jobs at that facility and 600 other indirect jobs that are supported by that project. And at the same time, as the opposition has pointed out very clearly this morning, our government has also taken action to reduce overall electricity system costs, renegotiated the Green Energy Investment Agreement, saving $3.7 billion.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Back to the Deputy. The gas plant scandal documents are clear. It notes Samsung is, quote, missing multiple milestone deadlines, and this, quote, triggers the province's ability to terminate without penalty through existing termination clauses. Speaker, the document further states, quote, the ministry is now proposing to eliminate much of the existing agreement. The ministry argues that doing so would save the Ontario tax ratepayers as much as $5.2 billion. But instead of taking the ministry's advice and doing right by Ontario's family, they only cancelled, as the minister just said, $3.7 billion worth. The government left $1.5 billion on the table. I ask the same question. Why did the government choose their corporate friends over the interests of Ontario's ratepayers?
Thank you. You seated, please. You seated, please. Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, in fact, the Ministry of Energy did indeed revise the Green Energy Investment Act in 2013. The revised agreement includes protecting the Samsung's agreement and commitments to jobs and adding a commitment to solar manufacturing jobs in 2016, reducing the agreement's total commitment for renewable projects from 2,500 megawatts to 1,369 megawatts, and requiring Samsung to obtain municipal council support resolutions for renewable energy projects before moving forward. Samsung has now opened 4 manufacturing plants across the province, which will create 900 indirect jobs. All of the projects contracted now are online, and the Samsung agreement has resulted in local benefits as well, including Samsung's $11.5 million program for the benefit of the community of Chatham-Kent. And Samsung has partnered with the Canadian Solar to open a London solar plant.
The member from Chatham-Kent, Essex, is warned. Oh, no, you can't just blurt it out.
The agreement is ongoing, and the ongoing portion of that agreement is more manufacturing plants, more solar panels, and it's supplying the projects which is sorely needed in our province. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Final supplementary.
Back to the Deputy. These gas plant scandal documents continue to paint a picture of the inner workings of the Liberal government. They show the government could have terminated the remainder of the Samsung deal and saved the ratepayers $5.2 billion and brought relief to hydro bills. But the document went on to say, contrary to what the minister just said, quote, Ontario has more generation capacity than it requires, and the ministry presents this this rationale for not proceeding with future phases. Quote, "The bureaucrats knew that walking away was in the best interest of the people of Ontario, but the government only cancels a part of the deal and leaves $1.5 billion on the table. I ask again, why did this government choose their corporate friends over the interests of Ontario families?"
Be seated, please. The government, the Deputy House Leader is... The Deputy House Leader, second time. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the government is choosing emissions-free technology, emissions-free emissions, and more jobs for the people of Ontario. That's what's being created by the ongoing agreement with Samsung. 90% emissions-free is now being generated through wind, solar, nuclear, hydroelectricity, and bioenergy. And 42,000 more jobs are being created as a result of 30 wind and solar manufacturing operations in our communities. Mr. Speaker, we are improving overall system costs beyond the renegotiation of the Samsung agreement, which is saving $3.7 billion over the life of the contract. And we mandated annual reviews of feed-in tariff, which pricing will result in ratepayers' savings of $1.9 billion over the life of those contracts. And moving forward on a procurement of future large energy projects, that process is expected to eliminate $3.3 billion additional benefits in the system, saving the average Ontario family $20 annually on their bills compared to the 2013 long-term projections. We're benefiting the communities.
The member from Nickel Belt.